My dear students, in my previous video, we had discussed the calculation of solvency ratios. Today, we are going to discuss under the accounting ratio various types of activity ratios. Activity ratios, also known as turnover ratios, these ratios measure how well the facilities at the disposal of the concern are being utilized. These ratios are also known as turnover ratios, as they indicate the rapidity with which the resources available to the concern are being utilized to produce revenue from operations. In other words, these ratios measure the effectiveness with which the enterprise uses its available resources, and the results of these ratios are expressed in number of times. The activity ratios are mainly classified in these categories: inventory turnover ratio, trade receivables turnover ratio, trade payables turnover ratio, and working capital turnover ratio. We have to calculate all these four types of ratios under the activity or turnover ratios. Now, first of all, we will go through the calculation part of inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio establishes the relationship between cost of goods sold and average value of inventory or stock. It gives an indication of the efficiency of inventory management. The purpose of this ratio is to show the number of times the inventory of a firm is rotated in a year. A high inventory or stock turnover ratio is an index of efficient inventory management, and a low ratio stands for inefficient inventory management. Hence, this ratio should be neither too high nor too low. Now let us start with the calculation part of inventory turnover ratio. In the practical problem 1, the information is given: inventory at the beginning of the year, inventory at the end of the year, net purchases, wages, revenue from operations, and carries inwards. On the basis of this information, we have to calculate inventory turnover ratio. And in the second practical problem, the information is given like revenue from operations, average inventory, and gross profit ratio. In this practical problem 2, the gross profit ratio is given at the rate of 10%. On the basis of this information, again we need to calculate inventory turnover ratio. Now let's go through the solution part of this practical problem 1 and practical problem 2.
Dear students, under the turnover ratios, we are going to calculate inventory turnover ratio first of all. For the calculation of inventory turnover ratio, the formula is cost of revenue from operations divided by average inventory. So this is the formula for the calculation of inventory turnover ratio. Now, I have taken a question from NCERT book. The first example is, we are given the information opening inventory, closing inventory, net purchases, wages, revenue from operations, and carries inwards. This is the information that is given. On the basis of this given information, we have to calculate inventory turnover ratio. After applying the formula for the calculation of inventory turnover ratio, cost of revenue from operation, this is also termed as the net sales, divided by average inventory. Now we have to put the values. So firstly, we have to calculate cost of revenue from operations. Cost of revenue from operations. We also call it as CORFO, is equal to. For that, the formula is opening inventory plus net purchases plus direct expenses minus closing inventory. This is the formula for the calculation of cost of revenue from operations or CARFO. Opening inventory we have got here rupees 18,000. Net purchases are given rupees 46,000. Direct expenses. Direct expenses, you are very well aware of the direct expenses. In class 11th we discussed direct expenses and indirect expenses. So direct expenses includes wages and carries inwards here. And after that closing inventory. We have to put the values now. Opening inventory is 18,000 plus net purchases 46,000 plus direct expenses. Wages 14,000 and carries inward 4,000. Wages 14,000, carries inward 4,000. Minus closing inventory. Closing inventory is 22,000. 46, 14, 50, 60, 78, 82,000. 82,000 minus 22,000. This will become 60,000. Now we got cost of revenue from operations rupees 60,000. Next we have to calculate average inventory. Average inventory for that opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. This is the formula for the calculation of average inventory. Opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. Now, opening inventory we have got 18,000 plus closing inventory is 22,000 divided by 2. So this will become 20, 30, 40, 20,000. Average inventory is rupees 20,000. Now the inventory turnover ratio is to be calculated. Therefore, inventory turnover ratio. Cost of revenue from operations 60,000 divided by average inventory 20,000. This is 3 times. This is your answer. The inventory turnover ratio is 3 times. Now we can also calculate on the basis of this inventory turnover ratio that in how many days inventory be converted into sales. For that we have to calculate average age of inventory. For the calculation of average age of inventory, the formula is number of days or months in a year divided by inventory turnover ratio. Number of days or number of months in a year divided by inventory turnover ratio. If number of days in a month is given in the question 366 or 365 days, then you will have to take accordingly those number of days. Otherwise, on an average basis, we will take 360 days. Because we are taking a standard month of 30 days. So for that, the 360 days will become for a year. Divided by inventory turnover ratio. So inventory turnover ratio we had calculated 3 times divided by 3. This will become 120 days. Or if we have to calculate this in a number of months, then number of months in a year 12 divided by 3, 4 months. 4 months are equal to 120 days. Inventory age of 120 days or 4 months implies that on an average the money blocked in inventory gets converted in revenue from operations in 120 days or 4 months. If the inventory turnover ratio goes up, the average age of inventory will go down and vice versa. This is the calculation of inventory turnover ratio and average age of the inventory. Now we will take yet another example. We are given revenue from operations rupees 40,000, average inventory rupees 55,000 and gross profit ratio is 10%. On the basis of this information, we have to calculate inventory turnover ratio. First of all, the formula inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio is cost of revenue from operations divided by average inventory. Now we are given revenue from operations. Revenue from operations means the sales, net sales. But cost of revenue from operations is what? This is the cost of goods sold. The cost price we need here, but the selling price is given. And average inventory we are given 55,000. Gross profit ratio is 10%. We have to calculate inventory turnover ratio. So first of all, we have to calculate the cost of revenue from operations. For the calculation of cost of revenue from operations, we will use here another formula. The another formula is revenue from operations minus gross profit. So this is another formula for the calculation of cost of revenue from operations. Revenue from operations means net sales minus gross profit. We will get the cost price or cost of goods sold, also known as cost of revenue from operations. Revenue from operations we are having rupees 40,000. Gross profit ratio is given 10%. This is 10% of revenue from operations. Minus 40,000 is revenue from operations into 10%. 40,000 minus 4,000. This will become 36,000. Now we got the cost of revenue from operations rupees 36,000. On the basis of this information, we may calculate inventory turnover ratio. Therefore, inventory turnover ratio. Cost of revenue from operation is 36,000. Average inventory is 55,000. Now 36,000 we will divide with 55,000. Now 36 divided by 55. This will be 0, 6, 5, 4, 5. It will go on like this, divided by 1. 0.65 times. This is the answer, 0.65 times.
Now, in practical problem 3, we are going to calculate trade receivables turnover ratio. Trade receivables turnover ratio is also known as debtors turnover ratio. It shows the relationship between revenue from operations and debtors. Generally, with a view to pushing up sales, business firms sells goods on credit. These credit sales result in the creation of debtors and bills receivable. Both debtors and bills receivables are converted into cash within a year, and as such they are shown as part of current assets. Since debtors and bill receivables comes under current assets, the liquidity position of the firm to a great extent depends on the speed at which these items are converted into cash. In order to assess the quality of debtors and bills receivable, this ratio can be calculated in two ways. First, debtors turnover ratio or trade receivables turnover ratio, and average collection period. The trade receivables turnover ratio indicates the number of times of an average the debtors have been turned over in a year. The average collection period indicates the average number of days that the firm has to wait for collecting the money after goods are sold on credit. Now, in practical problem 3, we have to calculate trade receivables turnover ratio from the given information. The information that is given is total revenue from operations, cash revenue from operations, opening trade receivables and closing trade receivables. And in practical problem 4, the statement is given: a firm made credit revenue from operations of Rs 5,40,000 during the year. If the trade receivables turnover ratio is 9 times, calculate opening and closing trade receivables. If the closing trade receivables are Rs 8,000 more than the opening trade receivables. This is another form of the practical problem to calculate trade receivables turnover ratio. Now let us go through the practical part of this for the calculation of the trade receivables turnover ratio.
Now, another ratio under the activity ratios is the calculation of trade receivables turnover ratio. For the calculation of trade receivables turnover ratio, we have to take the formula credit revenue from operations divided by average trade receivables. I have taken the question: total revenue from operations rupees 2 lakh, cash revenue from operations is rupees 40,000, opening trade receivables rupees 20,000 and closing trade receivables are rupees 60,000. This is the information that is given. Now on the basis of this given information, we have to calculate trade receivables turnover ratio. As per the formula, first of all, we need the credit revenue from operations. So we have to calculate credit revenue from operations. Credit revenue from operations. This is total revenue minus cash revenue from operation. This is total revenue from operations. The total revenue from operations is rupees 2 lakh minus cash revenue from operations is rupees 40,000. We got 1,60,000. This is your credit revenue from operations. Now average trade receivables we need. For that, the formula is average trade receivables opening trade receivables plus closing trade receivables divided by 2. Opening trade receivables plus closing trade receivables divided by 2. Opening trade receivables, we are having rupees 20,000, and closing trade receivables are rupees 60,000 divided by 2. We will get 40,000. 80 divided by 2. 40,000 is the average trade receivables. Therefore, trade receivables turnover ratio is equal to credit revenue from operations 1,60,000, average trade receivables 40,000, 4 times. Trade receivables turnover ratio is 4 times. The ratio indicates the speed with which the amount is collected from trade receivables. The higher the ratio, the better it is, since it indicates that amount from trade receivables is being collected more quickly. Trade receivables turnover ratio can also be converted into number of days or months within which the cash is collected from trade receivables. It is calculated by finding average collection period or average age of receivables. For the calculation of average collection period or average age of receivable, the formula is average collection period. Number of days or months in a year divided by trade receivables turnover ratio. By applying this formula, we may be able to find out the average collection period or average age of the trade receivables. Number of days, if given in the question 365 or 366, then accordingly we will take those number of days. Otherwise, if number of days are not given in the question, then average time period will be taken or average number of days will be taken as 360 days divided by trade receivable turnover ratio 4 times. This is 90 days. 90 days. This is the average collection period. If we have to calculate this in months, or number of months is 12 divided by 4. This will become 3 months. 3 months are equal to 90 days. This is the average collection period. In this case, the cash is collected from debtors or receivables in 3 months time period. Now after that, we are going to take another example, another question rather. Credit revenue from operations is rupees 5,40,000. Trade receivables turnover ratio is 9 times. We have calculate opening and closing receivables. If closing receivables are rupees 8,000 more than the opening receivable, this is another type of question that is given. Here credit revenue from operation is given rupees 5,40,000 and trade receivable turnover ratio is given 9 times. We will start with the same formula. Trade receivables turnover ratio is equal to credit revenue from operations divided by average receivables. Now by putting the values, trade receivables turnover ratio 9 times. We'll put here 9 is equal to credit revenue from operations is 5,40,000. 5,40,000. And average receivables are not given because we have to calculate opening as well as closing receivables. Average trade receivables. By simplifying it and by just cross multiplying it, average trade receivables is equal to 5,40,000 divided by 9. This is rupees 60,000. Now we had calculated average trade receivables as rupees 60,000. Now we have to calculate opening and closing receivables. For the calculation of opening and closing receivable, we have to take the average trade receivables into consideration. So average trade receivables we had calculated to be 60,000. Average trade receivables. The formula is opening receivables plus closing receivables divided by 2. Average trade receivables we got rupees 60,000, but opening receivables and closing receivables are not given. Information is, if closing receivable are rupees 8,000 more than the opening receivables, let us assume opening receivables is equal to X. Then closing receivables will be X plus 8,000. Closing receivables are rupees 8,000 more than the opening receivable. If opening receivables are X, then closing receivables will be X plus 8,000. Now average trade receivables. Is equal to opening receivables. Opening receivables are X plus closing receivables are X plus 8,000 divided by 2. Average trade receivables we had calculated to be 60,000. We will put the value 60,000 is equal to 2x plus 8,000 divided by 2. Now by simplifying it, 2x plus 8,000 is equal to 1,20,000. This is what we are cross multiplying it. Now 2x is equal to 1,20,000 minus 8,000. We are transferring 8,000 to this side. Now 2x will become 1,12,000. The value of x will be 1,12,000 divided by 2. This is 56,000. X is what? X is equal to, we had let opening receivables is equal to X. X is equal to opening receivables is equal to 56,000. Then closing receivables is equal to 56,000 opening plus 8,000. Means closing receivables are X plus 8,000. Opening is 56,000 plus 8,000. This is 64,000. We had calculated opening receivable as rupees 56,000 and closing receivable as rupees 64,000 as per the requirement of the question.
So, dear students, in the next video, we will be discussing various types of another activity ratios and the profitability ratios as well. Till then, thank you.